Hey guys, we got a good one for you at the Boom Boom Show here. I'm here with Chef Antonio Park. I'm the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas. That's Antonio Park. Let's go.
Thank you.
Antonio, how are you, my man?
I'm doing good, my man.
Good,
What's
good.
happening?
It's been a while. I was telling we were talking. I was telling the guys here at BTC. It's been a while. I don't see you, and we're just worried that restaurant people are hurting. You're one of the best and most successful restaurateurs in the city, and there's a reason for it. You have a very known story, but we're going to talk a little bit about it and see how everything's been going.
Of course.
And first, producer
Love
Pascal. Producer Pascal, because he's a Taekwondo black belt, and he was just talking about Taekwondo, which comes from your country, Korea.
Yeah.
So you were saying a bit your dad did it there a little bit?
Well, my dad was a Marine, right? So he was in the army, and obviously people back in the days were talking about this is during the Korean War, when everything bad happened to Korea, and so he has that personality, he has that character, and he never let it go. So since I was growing up, he was always like, the macho in the house. He's the man, even if he's wrong, he's right. Discipline, very disciplined. And he wanted me to learn Taekwondo. He wanted me to learn Korean. Those are very important things for his culture. Right. And I'm thankful today that, he gave me, he pushed me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I have children today and there's certain things that I cannot push. But back in the days, it's old school. So my parents, your parents, used to push you.
Yeah, for sure. Immigrant parents.
So I did a little bit, but I can't say that today I'm a cook with the belly and things like that. So I'm no longer the same.
Come on. Yeah. So
you do Taekwondo? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So producer Pascal he was an international level Taekwondo fighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know Kim's Taekwondo? Of course. So Alex is my little brother.
Oh.
So one of my best friend is Dennis Kim. His brother. I trained there. Yeah.
Is that a school for the non-Taekwondo people?
There you go. Kim School. Yeah. He's
legit.
Probably one of the best schools here in Montreal. Yeah. I don't know where did you do Changli or you did Montreal. Okay.
So, shout out to the Taekwondo schools.
Yep.
Yeah. So but look, like I'm an athlete too, and I think there's a certain discipline that comes from just doing any sport. Maybe your father instilled that in you because you're very disciplined in the way you cook and the way.
Well, I was a big time soccer football player.
Okay.
I player big time. No, not big time.
But you played a lot.
Used to play a lot. That's what I mean. So I was born and raised in Argentina, Paraguay, and Brazil, South America. So it wasn't
Castellano.
Yeah. So it's like I've learned to to understand the life of South American first, to be a Latino before being an Asian, because of my surroundings, because my parents were always working. So I used to have all my friends were Latinos, right? So. And we all used to do is sports. We all used to just play soccer. My life when I was growing up was basically football, like 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
Swimming and tennis. Those are the three sports that I really loved. Obviously, we used to play basketball and things like that, but soccer, football used to be my life.
That's what you competed in.
Yeah, that's when I used to play for the schools. I used to play in a team. It was very, very competitive. There was a question that they asked me, if you didn't become a chef, what would you have done? So if I didn't become a chef, I would probably become a soccer player, football player. Bad one, not a good one, but
hey, look, everything happens for a reason, I think, and you took a nice path. Yeah. So from that point, so you grew up in Argentina, and then at what point did you move to Vancouver? Or did you move to Canada?
I moved to Canada. I moved to Vancouver when I was almost 15. So let's say 15, I moved to Vancouver. I didn't stay a long time in Vancouver, less than a year. And then I decided my parents, obviously I was young enough. I was a young kid, so I didn't have any decision in the family. So they decided to move to Montreal. So we decided to stay in Montreal. Yeah.
And then, so if I can understand correctly, you guys had a dépanneur, a corner store or something?
Yeah, we used to have a dépanneur. We used to have a dépanneur. My parents used to run a dépanneur, and I used to help them out from the very young age. From 15, 16, I used to go, buy groceries with my father at the wholesale, and then bring it, open it, cost it.
Yeah.
But the best thing that happened was that from the age of 15, because my parents were coming from South America and they're Korean descent, they didn't speak the language French or English. So there was nobody that they can trust when it comes to leases, contracts.
Oh my God.
At the age of 15, I didn't really know French and English either. I was going to high school. I started to learn, but I think that's one of the things that really pushed me to learn the language, because I had to go to the, read the
Sign the
contracts, go to the dictionary, translate it,
Wow.
go back to
It's
dictionary,
incredible.
translate it. So that was at the age of 15. I used to do leases at the age of 15, 16 for my parents, and I think that's something that I won't forget to thank them. Maybe they did it in a way because they needed it, but at the end, it was the best for me. It was the best option.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And then, so at that point, so now here you are. So you spoke, hold on, Korean, Latino,
Yeah,
like
the
Spanish, and then you're learning English and French.
Spanish, Korean, multiple languages. I'm not
Wow.
going to say it, but I do speak 6 languages.
That's incredible. Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
lucky to have learned a language, and I can tell anybody who's listening to this, language is power. Language is the door opener, and language is the mind opener. So in success, there's always something that is called be open-minded, because if you want to be successful, you cannot be closed-minded unless you're already successful and you're closing doors. But if you want to get there, you have to be open-minded, and being open-minded is actually knowing a lot of languages. Why do I say that? Is if you go to any country, let's say you go to visit any other South American country, Europe or Asia, if you go talk to them and ask them a question in English or any other language that they don't really understand, they're shy. They're closed up. They don't open up themselves. As soon as you speak their language,
Wow.
they
Incredible.
look at you like
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
differently, and they're like, wow, okay, you speak my language, okay. So it opens the doors, right? So for me, I see every language that you can learn is it's like $1 million that you're pocketing for you.
Wow.
And it's also a very powerful tool for the world in the future, for your businesses, for your what you're gonna become in the future, and it's just a great thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know that from my own personal experience being on the national team for so many years and traveling to different countries, and you learn of certain words, and people appreciate it so much when you could just spew a few words
in
their
small
language.
words.
It doesn't have to be much, but when
Yeah.
you say a few things, people it
But
gets their
imagine
attention.
if you can speak the whole language.
Oh yeah,
They'll
yeah.
just open up to you, and they'll just like
embrace
embrace
the
that,
conversation.
embrace the conversation, embrace you,
Yeah,
like instantly.
I never thought of
Yeah.
that way. That's you learn something new every
Yeah.
day on the Boom Boom Show here.
And the boom boom.
So what happened? So now so you're working out of a corner store. You're signing leases. You're helping your parents. How do you become this successful chef? What happens to you? When do you start cooking?
I started cooking. I think it's been it's my 30th year this year that I've been cooking.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not that young. So it's my 30th year that I've been cooking. Obviously, left and right. Learned it from being a dishwasher. Move all the way up slowly, one by one. Worked in different continents, different cities, different countries. Came back to Montreal. Started a family in Montreal. Plus, I wanted to do something different. The whole thing about life and learning what you want to do in the future is that you have to love first what you do, and you already know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You do this, what we're doing right now, because you love it, and when you love something, you have to give it all. There's no 50%. There's no complaining about I worked too much today, I want to get some rest tomorrow. Yeah, I understand. It's not that I don't understand, but if you want to succeed, why did you even say that? You don't have to say that. You can. Why don't you do that after you succeed? Why don't you put all that energy, that negative energy that you have, right? That you make it into positive.
Right.
So instead of complaining, I worked, I can't believe I worked this week 80 hours a week. 80 hour. It's an 80-hour week or
Yeah.
a 60-hour week, 50-hour week. I'm supposed to be working 40, but good for you, because you did 10 extra that others didn't do. So
Right.
what that means is that 10 extra hours or 20 extra hours, 30, 40, 50 extra hours made you better in what you do in your field. Maybe you might not like what you do, but that's your bread and butter. You have to pay your rent. You have to pay your, you want to buy a nice suit. You have to pay. You have to buy nice shoes. You want to buy a nice car. You have to work. So if you're doing it anyways, do it at the best that you can. There's no. It's not because I'm a chef, or because one day I was a dishwasher that I'm less important than a chef. Absolutely not.
You were a dishwasher.
I was a dishwasher.
Okay.
I started as a dishwasher, of course, at a Chinese buffet.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm no shame to tell this, because I was the best dishwasher for me. To me, at that point, 30 years ago, when I was a dishwasher, I was the best dishwasher, and I wanted to be the best dishwasher. I wanted to have proper, clean.
Your station was clean. You were on
everything
time.
was clean. The dishes were clean, but also at the same time, I loved water. I love water. There's something about water that makes me really happy.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's why I love swimming. That's why I told you I did swimming and tennis, because I love water. And you know, when you think about everything that you're doing, is never think of it that you're doing for yourself, because that's a wrong start. No. What I mean is, think that you're doing everything for yourself, not for somebody else.
Okay, so even if you're a dishwasher, you're not working for
You're
the
not
man.
working for anybody
Okay,
else. You're making yourself better. I know it's just dishes. But, you know, at a different level of life that you have, a gentleman who is a billionaire, who's counting the billions of dollars and who have 10,000 buildings, he might just look at one person who has one building and say, you're
below
you're
or
an ant.
whatever.
Not in that way, but for you did everything that you could to buy that one building.
Yeah.
And then from there on, you can grow bigger and bigger, right? So never underestimate your power, because, you know, positivity will always shine bigger than the negativity.
Yeah, you talked about so many good things right there. There's so many good points that are parallels with being an athlete, you know? There's so many times when you feel down and there's too much training, but like you said, it's just a mentality, turning it negative to a positive and trying to say, hey, look, it's the same thing with sport. You know, my coaches say, okay, well, this week we look at the schedule, you've got 14 or 15 practices from Monday to Sunday, so you're 2 or 3 a day. If you look at it like, oh, I'll never make it to Sunday, but just day by day, you keep going and you stay positive and you keep staying with it. And also the other thing, like you said, I really like what you said about like just, you know, embracing what your position is at the time and trying to do it the best they can. Because when I started wrestling, I remember I was in high school and looking at the Olympics, you're like, wow, like how can somebody get there? But then I was like, hey, I'll be the best city wrestler or the best in my team or the best in my school or the best I can be for my school. And I think that's how those parallels are successful, and shows how you don't have to have the most glamorous background, but if you work hard, you can make it. I'm sure you know. Of course. You've seen a lot of ups and downs.
And you saying like the athletes, that's very, very important, by the way, because the thing that you're saying is, let's say you have 15 practice in a week that you've been scheduled. There's a thing that comes in that it says you are young. You're probably going to school at the same time. You know, you were in your teenagers.
For sure.
You know, so it's not the same thing. I can't talk to a person who is 15, 16 years old or 17, 18 years old and make them realize exactly what I'm thinking, because that's life experience. You know, that's maturity, right? You only earn that through your life more you go on, right? You cannot, you know, I can scream at somebody. It says success is about you putting everything that you have, putting everything on the line and giving it all. But if I was 18 and I'm listening from a guy who's my age, I would say like, okay, piss off. Piss off. I got a party tonight. So I do understand that position too, but have that little concern in your head. Have that little ball in your head that still, you know, everything grows like every plant. If you plant the seed, that seed will grow. And at one point in life, you're going to say, oh, this plant grew really fast and now it's tall and it became a tree. How did you know it was going to become a tree? So that is a seed that you plant in your head and keep it into it and make it positive, push it harder. So when you were, let's say 16, 17, 18, and you have 15 practices in a day, let me tell you something really funny. If you went to your coach and you told him, Coach, I have 15 practices. I think I can do 2 more. Let's go.
Yeah.
You're pumping up your coach. Oh my God, this guy wants it.
Yeah.
What? So what happens from the coach to you now? He'll give you more. He's going
to give you more. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's
You'll
the
get
door
more
that
feedback.
you open.
Now you're coachable. We talk about this on the show so much about guys just be coachable.
Yeah. Open up. Open up yourself. Accept the fact that you're going to be somebody in the future as an athlete or any career that you choose. But try to give that 10% more. It's worth it. And when you start doing that, all the people around you, they'll give you that 10% more.
The universe opens up, you know.
It's like back and forth, right?
It's like I think it's an Indian proverb that says, when the student's ready, the teacher comes. You know.
Yep. 100%.
So like you said, you could teach an 18-year-old do this and that, but unless they're ready for it. But like I love what you said about planting that seed, because obviously how do you plant that seed to someone who's young and someone who has so much potential? That's something now I'm doing more coaching. That's something that I'm really trying to learn, because myself, GSP, we're close friends. He's a friend of the show here. And we always talk about, like, we're not guys that you had to push a train. We're always going to do the work. There was other issues that we perhaps had.
Mm-hmm.
But for a lot of guys, it's that issue. It's that they don't want to do the extra work. And maybe, like you said, turning it to a positive, or taking, notice that, hey, this is my station. I'm going to be the best at it. Yeah, I think that's important.
That's very important.
Maybe that's why you resonate so well with athletes. They all love you. PK, Subban, GSP. They talk about you nonstop.
They're friends, first of all, and they're Montrealers. Obviously, PK is no longer from Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
He went to play other places.
But a huge impact here with the hospital donation.
He had a huge impact. He did beautiful things to the city. He brought back a lot of passion to hockey for the Canadians. And GSP is like it's a hero to us, right? He's
an icon.
He's a local hero, and nobody will accomplish what he accomplished. Unless there's one person who says, I want to be better than GSP, and he pushes all the way in, and he listens to GSP, he listens to you, then that person becomes a whole different thing. I don't believe that there's a lot of people who tells me can anybody become a chef? It's the same question as, can anybody become an athlete? Mm-hmm. It's how much you open the doors. If you open the doors widely, then you will be a great athlete, a great chef. But if you close the doors in front of you, then how could they open up the door for you?
So you're talking about being open-minded when you say
open-minded. It's all about open-minded. It's pushing back and forth, but it's also, giving it first. Don't expect first. Give first.
Give the effort.
Give the effort. Give the work. Give the time. Give the. There was something that I said recently. It's like there's no success in practice. But you need to practice to have success.
Yeah.
So if you don't practice, how could you earn success? How could that?
Yeah. People want the glamour, but if they don't work for it,
the star on your shoulder, that's earned.
Yeah.
That's not given. Mm-hmm. That's not taken. And if you want to take it lightly and just have a star on your shoulder, then just buy one. But that's not the right way to do things, and that's not the right example. For me also is I'm just getting back to this conversation. This is a good conversation to have. The conversation that I want to have is, if somebody is not strong enough, that they need mentors, they need coaches. I think we need more people on our age who's getting older and older to give more to the younger generation.
Give back, yeah.
A lot of the times what's going on right now is, we always talk about right now what's going on, the Generation Z, the millennials, they're not the same as baby boomers or Generation X. It's not their fault. Our parents...
Yeah, you talked about how you raise your children and how your parents raised you.
Us, we don't do this anymore. First of all, it's illegal to smack your son or to your daughter. I wish it was illegal during my time, because I got beat up bad.
I got some belts too.
Oh my Lord, I got beat up bad. And when you give them more, they'll take it. They won't listen right away. We all come from the same example. We didn't listen first. We did everything that they told us not to do.
But I think our mind resists sometimes. Like, if you give me criticism, I think everybody's first, it took me years and years as an athlete. I think it was 25 or 26 when I stopped resisting my coach and started saying, hey, this person's trying to help me. So does it come from that? Maybe that we all have resistance. So you're just saying, just plant the seed, plant the seed, plant the seed.
Keep on doing.
Yeah.
And our parents keep on telling us, do. But for the new generations that coming up and that happened, we stopped.
Yeah. Planting the seed.
Yeah, we stopped planting the seed.
Stop giving back, like people give to us.
Yeah. You gotta keep on pushing. It's okay. Not we don't push anymore like back in the days where they used to smack you and they used to really plant you.
Yeah. Well, one of the expressions that we used to hear all the time, we don't hear that anymore, was like, my coach is from the Soviet Union. He's very respected, but he's very strict. And one of the things that I'd say about him, if somebody asked me about him, I would say this. I'd say, he's all business. We don't say that anymore. It just meant that this guy he's all business. He doesn't fool around, and it's discipline. And
he's
I think
to the point.
I guess I think I was thinking about this the other day. I think that kind of saying is gone because you can't really be all business anymore. You know, it's people are intimidated by it, maybe, or do you think that's what it is, or?
They're I don't know.
Like, how is it when you have a new? So, for example, you've got a new chef come in, and he's hyped up from whatever school or from whatever other restaurant. Someone refers you, and they say, "Look, you really need." How do you navigate how to discipline the guy, or is it kind of hands off and see first? Do you get on him right away? How does that kind of work?
No, this different now. Everybody obviously is different when it comes to that thing. Me, the way that I would work is if somebody is, there's two things: somebody who's really good or somebody who's talks that he's really good. So there's two things, right?
Just like in sports.
Yeah. So when you're talking very highly of yourself, then obviously me as the chef of the place and as the leader of the place, I gotta put his nose down. And I gotta tell them, okay, I know you're flying really high, but it's time to come down, come back to the ground.
Show us, yeah.
No, I stand next to him.
Okay.
I work with him together, and I show him the difference between him and me. Not because I'm better than him, not because I'm stronger than him, not because I'm more talented than him, because I love more what I do than him. This is where it changes the whole game. Because when you have so much passion and so much love and so much dedication in what you're doing, it doesn't matter how good you are anymore. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how much you talk about yourself, because you love what you do. Who cares about what other people think about what you're doing at that time? Obviously, you're doing something for other people to be happy. But in your bubble, you have to own your bubble. And
like you were saying before, whatever it is,
and you
do
have
it for yourself.
to love.
Yeah.
You have to love. Love is a big positive thing. And once you start loving and caring and dedicating all you got into what you're doing, other people see that.
Right.
And they follow that automatically. It doesn't matter how good they are. They could be
That's being a leader.
Yeah.
That's being a leader.
So that's the direction that you want to give, and hopefully he will follow that direction, and he will do the same chain reaction to the people that's coming. That's the goal. That's the real dream.
So, okay, so I'll put you on the spot a bit here. So someone who's a dishwasher and they want to have the success you had, they want to have all the restaurants, be on television and be a really hot commodity in the city, but they don't want to wash dishes. What would you tell that person?
No.
It can't happen.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening. It's you gotta.
So how does someone fall in love with doing this step by step?
To know, because you have to do. There's steps that you won't like. There's steps that you did that you didn't like. There's steps that I did that I didn't like. But it's a part of it. It's a whole part of it. You cannot make a chair without making one leg, because you don't like to make that leg. You want to make
you want to make the nice circle.
Yeah, you want to different. But that leg is very important. So for you,
wow, I'm gonna remember this for my athletes here. We're gonna.
For you, what you have to do is you have to make sure that the person is doing something right first. What's right could be right for me, but for other athletes and other chefs could be wrong. Right?
Okay.
Because this is a personal opinion, right? But it doesn't mean that you cannot take his knowledge and make it into yours. So when somebody tells you something, don't block it. Don't ignore it. Listen. If you have to filter it and let go 95% that thinks that wasn't good, let it go. Right. It wasn't good. But maybe the other 5% was
gem in there.
Really good.
There's a gem.
Yeah, there's something in there that you can keep it and you can share it with others. By sharing in others, it makes the thing bigger.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
Because now it's grown.
No, because you keep on talking about it.
Yeah.
And you keep on talking, and your head keep on listening to what you're talking. So all these things just now you planted a positive seed. That seed is growing slowly because you're talking about it and you're planting seed on others. So more you talk about positive things, the positivity in you grows. Less you talk about positivity, the positivity in you goes low.
And misery loves company.
Yeah.
We know that. I guess like you said, being positive, it resonates to other people, and so does misery. If you just say, "Oh, I'm tired. No, I don't want to do it today," then the next guy's gonna be like, "You know what? I'm tired too." The next guy. It's a terrible chain effect. That's why when I see it, I've always tried to cut it. And I love what you said about finding the 5% in everything. Like I remember being a young athlete, and you're looking for mentors, and you're looking for who to listen to, and some old timer might tell you something that makes no sense, but there might be something in there. that was effective. I don't know what it is. I just remember that I had so many people that love wrestling, and they would come to me and love mixed martial arts and speak to me about this and their different ideas. And someone would say, "Oh, he belongs on McDojo, or he belongs on some weird website. He doesn't know anything." But I'd say, "Hey, there might be something in there. This guy has maybe put his whole life towards it, so there might be something in there."
Because there's no right and wrong until you filter it down and you keep what is right for you. Because my right might not be the right for you. So every human being is different. So it depends how you filter it. So everything that you're absorbing, everything that you're hearing, and every technique or everything that you do, everything that he does, might be right or wrong. Who knows? But at least you're accepting, you're adapting it, and you're changing, you're filtering it, and you're letting it go, the negative things, the bad things that you believe that is not really right or good. You're keeping only the good things. That's a choice that you have. That's the power that you have as a human.
And where did this mentality come to you? Like, how did this, how did you start thinking like this?
Mature, man.
Yeah.
Maturity. Going about 40. I'm mid.
You look good for your age, man. Jeez, you look good for your age, right?
I'm way above 40, but like I wanted to. I'm a father. I'm a father right now of 3, and I have to be an example to my children first of all, and also not only a father of 3, but I'm also a father of many.
Well, you said you have 10 locations now, 10 restaurants at this point, no?
Well, we don't know exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah, with COVID,
I'm holding it into Park and Cafe Bazin and Jatoba right now. Those are the 3 places that are open in my businesses because of
Flyjin, Lavanderia.
Well, everything. Lavanderia shut down after the fire. So the
I'll be a Flyjin.
Yeah, Kampai, Flyjin, Cat Cart. Everything is
what
closed.
A shame,
And
so how are you dealing with that right now? Like,
I know it's okay. It's we get government subsidized, so it works. It works for you're not making money, so erase that 1.5 years of income.
We're in limbo a little bit.
So you just have to, right now we're just surviving, right? Staying out of the water, above the water, and just making floating and going steady. But it doesn't. It shouldn't discourage you. It shouldn't tell you, oh fuck.
Is it? But is it hard
it's
to
like,
keep?
Shit. This is like shit.
Yeah.
Why is it? What does that change?
It doesn't change who you are. That's for sure.
But it doesn't also change your business.
Yeah.
But instead of putting that energy of complaining about things, put it in a way that what can I do to make it better? As a simple thing as if you have a restaurant that is operating right now, one restaurant, then do a fucking general cleanup, major A to Z. That's one thing already beautiful that you did. Start fixing everything that was broken. Number 2. So there's small little things that we all have. We all have problems. Time to fix it.
Yeah.
This 1.5 year break to fix your problems and to make yourself a better person.
I love that. And even like some of my athletes, and I was thinking that as an athlete too, is like, because I had a whole fight camp, and Pascal can attribute to this because he was with me through the fight camp. And just like at first I was complete shock and a little bit depression. I'm like, I don't have my coaches. I don't know if I can go to the gym. And every athlete was like that. Even the Olympics were coming up. So I was working with a lot of the Olympic wrestlers, and we're all kind of like, what can we do? Then I sat down. I said, look, what are the things that I could work on? Exactly like you said, that I didn't have time to work on when you have training with 100 different guys. Well, for example, like me specifically with shadow boxing, it's something I never did because, you go to the gym and you get your partners and you start training.
Yep.
So then I said to myself, okay, I'm going to take shadow box. Look, I have nothing else to do. We were at the first lockdown. We were not even allowed to leave the home, really, unless it was for some food or something.
Yeah.
So I started shadow boxing in my condo, and with the help of John Chamberg and other trainers that I had and mentors, and GSP was putting out some great content, I was able to, within a space like this, have a good workout.
Yeah, of course.
Something that I never thought was possible. I'm a guy, I need to run 15K and, use the whole facility and train with 100 different people. Now I'm getting equally beneficial workouts on your own.
Of course.
So I love what you said about just adapting to your environment. I did a talk for Sun Life. I gave a talk for them, and one thing they were asking is, what are you doing now? I just said, just adapt to your environment. If you're working from home, I said, maybe there's something that you can, maybe a routine, a home routine that works for you better, and find those positivities and use that when you open up again and say, hey, look, I used to read or write for 15, 20 minutes before I start my day because I was working at home. Maybe do the same thing, and just because you have to transit doesn't change. I think that's a great lesson. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
And it's important that it's to me it's in a restaurant in a restaurant business, it's very important that you have to be clean. That's priority number 1. Cleanliness is number 1. But it's not only the restaurant. It starts from you first. you can make everybody be clean, everybody be perfect, everybody be amazing in what they do. But how about you? You as a person, individual. Are you making sure that your health is okay? Are you going to the doctors? Are you checking up every conditions of your body if it's okay? Are you eating well? Did you do your paperworks? Are you do your taxes? Finish that first. This is the time for you to focus on what's important first. The most important thing in life is you. It could happen, COVID, it could happen, anything that you want. Anything could happen. This could break, this could break, this could rip, the mic could go off. But it's objects.
Mm-hmm.
A virus, I know it's a virus, it's dangerous, but to me, we're the humans. We're the one who controls the objects. It's not the objects that controls you.
Yeah.
So be wise when you think about that. Think well, because you can change the world in your life, depending on how you create your bubble, your life. Right?
I love that too. And I was reading the Jordan Peterson 12 rules book, and one thing he talked about is just making your bed like in the morning, just taking care of your own surrounding, your own close environment. Number one.
That's the most important. Mm-hmm. It starts, your success, your life starts from you, your yeah. And the number 0, 1, 2, 3, we know numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million, billion. It doesn't start out of 10. It starts out of 0, 1.
Mm-hmm.
It starts out of 1. So that's you. Yeah.
I love that. That's great stuff. Yeah. So, well, man, it got really philosophical. Really touching this conversation, which I love. I haven't been fortunate enough to have talks like this, with people get this deep on camera. So for me, it was just a pleasure. So yeah, I mean, anything else? What's happening right now in the community? So you said right now you're not doing Chopped anymore. We were talking a little bit.
Chopped is done with the seasons.
You did 6 seasons.
There was 6 seasons.
You were great on that show, by the way. Yeah, really great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun, but that was also another way of learning things, how to do things. TV can change people very easily. TV can popularity can change you. But that also starts from you. Make sure that.
Yeah, how did you stay humble after that?
Make sure that you don't change. I matured. I can't tell you right now that 10 years ago I wasn't an asshole. Maybe 10 years ago I was really an asshole, and it's okay. It is okay. If you're an asshole today, if you're a bad person, or if you're doing
Chef
something
Park says
bad,
you could change.
but it's okay, man. It's okay. I understand. But tomorrow is not today. Mm-hmm. Yesterday is not today. So change tomorrow. Change. You can change.
But did you consciously think about this? Like, oh, maybe did that what television did for you? Or
no. I just realized.
You just grew up.
I just realized I grew out of it. I did mistakes. I did bad things also, and bad things meaning, we all make bad mistakes and stupid things.
Who
right?
hasn't?
Stupid choices in life, and today the COVID thing and everything, it makes you more humble. I'm not a guy who's gonna be in the front of the line and complain and protest. It's not a bad thing, by the way. Not with the riot thing going on, but the protest itself is be a proper protest and have a voice, right?
Yeah, I guess that we live in a free country, so you're allowed
to have a voice. And today I just focusing on my team, my family. That's where it starts first. It starts from me and my team and my family first. So I'm gathering them all together, representing for them, doing the right things for them, giving them the right direction, staying positive, pumping them up to stay positive. And
that must be cool though that you get to spend more time at home, I guess.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's probably one of the best things that happened with COVID, and a lot of people will tell you that. And a lot of people will also tell you that there's a lot of COVID babies that are coming. So
and divorce, hopefully not divorces.
Yeah. Hopefully not. But if it happens, it happens. I got divorced. I'm divorced also. So things happens in life, but don't get discouraged.
For a reason. Things happen for a reason. Yeah.
There's always a light there at the end of the tunnel. Always, and stay positive and look for the light. And things are it's gonna come along the way if you do the right things and you stay positive. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's a deep one. I don't know. I guess that pretty much wraps it up. anything else you want to go over? So right now you're just with Air Canada, working for Air Canada.
Yeah,
Still-
well, I'm still working with Air Canada. I have a contract, a long contract with them, so I'm doing the meals for Air Canada. Now I'm very lucky that we started. I started being the chef of Air Canada for Asian flights, international flights, South America, and now we're doing South America, Asia, and then we started all North America with my meals too. So I'm very happy with that. So a lot of people has been telling me things, exciting. Time to change the recipe more and more, trying to make it better. I'm still in the learning process.
That's crazy because your ingredients in your food, you put so much care in. How could you still be learning after, creating so much? Anybody come to Montreal, go to Park Sushi, you will freak out. Just like I remember you did me and George a sashimi once, and I saw the plate. I was like, okay, now I understand this teenage girl fad. I want to take a picture. I want to get me a Twitter account. I want to put this up, and I just wanted to look at it. But how do you can still learn after all this time?
You have to learn. There's so many things to learn. It's learning is endless. Learning is endless, first of all, and you can even learn from a dishwasher. You want me to tell you why?
Please.
Who spends the more time in the dish pit?
Him.
So who knows better?
Or her? Yeah.
So how can you tell me you know better than the dishwasher in his station?
Yeah.
You cannot say that. So you see how things,
Yeah.
you have to be open-minded. Think about those things. Care about everybody who's around you and understand them and be there for them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like when I look at your restaurant, look at your success, I don't think you forget how humble people are sometimes. You just see all the success, but then you sit down, you talk to someone like you talk to someone like George, even my mentor in wrestling, Gia Saudi, and all these world champions I speak to. I have the luxury of being close with Otis Grant, another world champion. Just people that are so accomplished in their field, and then when you talk to them, you forget, like, wow, the details. You guys still care about the details. You care about the dishwasher. You care about the waiter, the other chef. Everybody is a part of it. Your kids, the family.
Details is the most important.
Yeah. Wow, we forget that. We really, really do. Like I always, even me, sometimes I just have to reverse engineer and go back.
You know what I say? It's funny because you guys are in the martial arts. Mm-hmm. I have this one saying in my head that I always put it in my head, and I always, whenever something goes wrong, I always think about this. It's Bruce Lee. Once he said, "Be water."
Water, yeah, and you love water. I was gonna say that.
And water is the only way. It's the only thing that can fill up every single gap where it's missing. So if you put rocks, stones, sand in a jar,
there's
and
still
you pour
space.
water, it spreads everywhere and fills
the
up
water.
everything.
Yeah.
So your job is to fill up all those spots that fills for others to walk. So our job today is just to pave the road for the newcomers that are coming in. So you want to be that example, right? And you want to create that example so the next generations can continue that.
Yeah, that's super cool that you put it that way because, think of Bruce Lee, a martial artist, but you can take so many parallels for that in life. It's super cool. Yeah. Man, I have to thank you a million times for doing this.
Thank you, man. COVID,
Didn't touch that COVID. All right, guys, we'll have the interview up for you guys on the Boom Show. Like, comment, subscribe. Want to thank Antonio Park.
Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, of course, guys. There's a lot of stuff there, guys. So be positive. Be like water.
Boom, boom.
Peace.